Marilyn Monroe, who is forever immortalized as a symbol of beauty, elegance, and allure, has been labeled in today's world as a dumb. But is that truly who she was? Well, let's talk about it. Kim Kardashian wore Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday, Mr. President dress at the Met Gala. In the process, she might potentially damage the priceless piece of history just to gain attention.
This is Marilyn Monroe's dress, and it's 60 years old, and she wore this when she sang Happy Birthday to President John F. Kennedy.
This brought a lot of reactions from people, which I kind of understand, because Kim's actions were kind of controversial, but what I don't understand is the comments about Marilyn Monroe. Many people have expressed harsh opinions about both of these women. While it's understandable to be frustrated with Kim Kardashian for causing harm to the dress, the comments about Marilyn Monroe was more troubling. I've seen numerous comments calling her a dismissing her as nothing more than someone who got famous through her looks and sexual appeal to the male gaze. Some even said she wasn't important and never would be. It is all because she only looked sexy. I would assume that many of the people who throw around those hurtful words about Marilyn Monroe don't really know much about her life. Marilyn Monroe is one of the most commercialized figures in history. She's a household name, just like the brand Coca-Cola. I'm just surprised with the wrong perception of Marilyn Monroe, even decades after her death. The truth is, Marilyn never aimed to be just a sexy figure. She was much more than that. She was an intelligent, well-read woman who built an empire and a remarkable career. She was a talented actress, model, and singer. The rumors about her affair with the president have never been confirmed, and there's only one photograph of them together at an event. Marilyn also supported numerous causes and charitable organizations. She was deeply upset when her friend, Ella Fitzgerald, was forced to use back entrances at clubs, and she fought for her right to enter like anyone else. The reason she turned to sleeping pills, which tragically led to her overdose, was because of the relentless stress, depression, and dehumanization caused by the world and the Hollywood industry. I think people tried to compare her to Kim Kardashian because both were commodified, but in different ways. But the difference is, Marilyn's commodification was largely forced upon her by an industry that saw her as nothing more than a product. While Kim Kardashian openly capitalizes on her image, Marilyn didn't have that luxury. The way her legacy has been distorted by the masses is really sad, especially considering the terrible childhood she endured. Marilyn dreamed of becoming a mother, but tragically she never had the chance to see that dream come true as she lost her baby shortly before her death. Even though Marilyn Monroe didn't initially set out to create the image that became her legacy, she became an advocate for women's right to express their own sexuality in a society that labeled her as sinful. Marilyn suffered from dyslexia and a stutter far more severe than most people realized. She battled horrible dreams throughout her life, which contributed to her chronic insomnia. She was also bipolar, often losing touch with reality, and endured excruciating pain from endometriosis during menstruation. She frequently broke out in rashes and hives, and eventually developed chronic colitis, causing severe abdominal pain and nausea. On top of these struggles, Marilyn had a mother who was in a mental institution. She never knew her father, and she moved between foster homes and an orphanage. Marilyn also made bold, insightful comments about social dynamics. She once said, "Black men don't like to be called boys, but women are being called girls." She expressed her discomfort with the term girl used for women. She was against male violence against women. It still bothers me that Hugh Hefner took Marilyn's photos without her permission and built his empire on her image. He wouldn't have had the success he did without her, yet he completely disrespected her. Even after her death, he couldn't let her be. His tomb is disgustingly placed next to hers. In my opinion, Marilyn Monroe was never a dumb blonde or just a whore. Marilyn Monroe was a person, a real woman who faced immense challenges in an industry that was often brutally unforgiving. The cruelty she experienced was so overwhelming that she ultimately couldn't endure it any longer. In the end, Marilyn Monroe won, because 64 years after her death, she is still celebrated. She's been used as a case study to teach elegance and magnetic and alluring energy. Marilyn is nearly every girl's icon. You and I weren't born in her time, but yet we know her. We still talk about her like it was yesterday.